Fans Nation, from the plains and windy cold of North and South Dakota to the beautiful beaches of Galveston, Texas, from Houston's heat all the way to Montana's beautiful skies and the amazing scenery of Virginia. You are live on a MEGALIVE episode on the Fans Nation Network, and now hosted by the Rev. Let's get this MEGALIVE unscripted beer drinking show rockin' and rollin'. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rev.
I told you all this was better.
What an intro. Very well done.
Great, buddy.
Give a shout out to Matt for that. Nailed it.
I couldn't have done it without you, Rev. Green screened in there, buddy.
All right. FCS Fans Nation, welcome to MEGALIVE. Happy, semifinal Sunday or past semifinal Sunday. We're a week from Christmas, 2 weeks from New Year's, and 3 weeks from crowning a new national champion in Frisco. And as is tradition, it's time to have a bit of a shit show. We brought on some of our friends.
Well, I have no crowning on this show.
We just no crowning, but brought some friends to talk the playoffs, talk Frisco, talk anything you guys want. Bring your comments in. The funnier, the better. I thought I was going to have producer X show up, but he was a little short on time, I guess. So, and height. So he's not here.
My.
I got you, Rev, on the produce.
All right. So Matt's going to help me out while we're doing this, but let's go. Welcome to the MEGALIVE, guys. Again, you can see we have a multitude of guests starting from the top in no order. We got Jamie Williams coming fresh off a hockey game. Kind of being a dick with his shirt, but whatever. We got Chad Myros. We got Chad Myros. Oh man, we got Alex Hinkle and the computer.
Top corner for the block.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip the center square because he deserves his own intro. We got Brennan, no D because he joined the Southland Conference, and then at the bottom we got Matt Frazee, and last but not least, the man whose voice is so syrupy it could top your waffles or pancake at the Waffle House. It's Zach McKinnell from the Blue Bloods. So welcome, guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us. Oh, and you know what? We got video here, and he's here. There's Adam from Fight On Montana.
Hey, welcome, Adam.
I'm glad you made it.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right. Well, you know what? We got a national championship game. I guess first things first. Everybody excited for SCSU in Montana and Frisco?
Sure.
I know we are.
Everybody's happy. The Bison aren't there. Come on. Now's the time to say it. You're all happy.
I mean, we're glad we're not playing them twice in one season because it's hard to beat a good team twice.
That's very true. That's very true. That was a hell of a game. I mean, we could talk about the SCSU Albany drubbing, but we don't need to. Although, one thing I'm going to say this: people are giving Albany crap because of their performance. I don't think that's a reflection of Albany being bad. I think that's just how good South Dakota State is and how good that matchup was for them. So people are already saying you shouldn't even have Albany in your top 10 postseason rankings. Yes, you should. They earned it. They got to the quarterfinals. They beat Idaho. So I would say just back off on that take if you're one of those guys. But man, the ending to the Montana North Dakota State game, which is absolutely nuts and insane. And Adam, were you there in person or did you watch?
No, I was watching from home in Wyoming, but I can't do any more overtime games because it's bad for my health. So that's way too much overtime for my fashion.
So, you just guaranteed a national championship overtime. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. We're going to get free football in Frisco.
Thanks, bud.
Hey, if we're making overtime with that team, hey, I'd be happy with that. That's a win. So that's a good Jackrabbit team. So.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting. It's kind of funny because, of course, we're seeing some of the posts on the page and some folks are like, you doubted Montana in September. This is not the same team that played in September. This isn't the same team that lost to Northern Arizona by any stretch of the imagination. Like the fact that Houck made the changes that he made and got Vidlac out at quarterback, you can see the results. So let's also check that too. Like this team, if he had kept the way it was in September, you guys wouldn't have made it past the first round. You may not have made the playoffs. Does anybody disagree with that take or no? Because I think it's spot on.
Jamie still thinks Montana's really bad, so you could give him a chance to explain himself.
Jesus Christ, Matt, I already need security in Frisco. Don't put any more on.
It's okay. No. Brendan will be on your left and I'll be on your right.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, that's exactly right. All year, where us voters who paid attention had Montana was the right place for Montana. yes, they lost to NAU. They had a close game with Fair State. They deserve to be at the back part of the top 25 or out on some ballots. But it showed how good of a coach Bobby Houck is. And I've said that all year, and it really hurts to say that too, but it's true. We got Clifton McDowell, emergence of Eli Gilman, and just a word of advice to Jimmy Rogers right now: kick the damn ball out of bounds.
Oh, shit, right?
Do not kick to Junior Bergen.
No,
I remember two years ago when we played Montana. I was scared of Junior Bergen too. He just seeing that guy in person. He's bad fast, but tons of credit to Houck and just that team. And I know they changed play callers on both sides of the ball as well. Just a great coaching job all around. Houck looks like he finished third in the Eddie Robinson vote. I voted him number one just for that. So congratulations to Montana. All jokes aside, when the team does that, you just gotta take your hat off to them and show nothing but respect. And they fought their ass off all year, and they deserve to be playing in Frisco.
I would say probably not the back end of the top 25, just because I think that if you look at some of those other teams in the back top of the 25, even though we are playing horrible, I would say that we're probably a little bit better than some of those teams. But yeah, it was an amazing run. I think that you had buy-in from the player level, and I think that the seniors, I'm going to hate for them to go, because just those seniors are the people that made this go. And so it's fabulous run that we've had, and I hope it continues.
How senior laden are you, Adam?
Defensively wise, you lose a lot of, you lose Gubner, you lose a lot of the linebackers. Lose a couple of your, Fouch and Cotton. So, I think that they have a pretty strategic way of where they've been getting some younger people in on the defensive side. We lose probably 3/5 of our offensive line as well. But we've been hurt that way too. So we've been putting guys in there. And so we, at the looks of it, we just regroup in linebackers. It's been that way for a long time, where you think it's going to be a problem, and it's not. And so I think we'll have a good team next year. I would be surprised if, it's this again, because it's just hard to remake what we just did. But I think we have the guys to make another run.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty special team you guys have, especially with the season you had. Somebody asked about if the surface was going to be crap in Frisco. I'll tell you, next week there's a ton of rain in the forecast for Texas as a whole.
It will be.
So yes,
it's going to be a bad turf, guys. Just there's what, 2 bowls that are played, or there's 2 bowls beforehand. So just there's going to be a bad turf. Just deal with it. I don't know what else to tell you. The game's not moving anytime soon.
Well, it's not just deal with
it.
it when you have 2 starting quarterbacks blow ACLs on that garbage. That's the problem with it. Just deal with it. You've got people having career-altering injuries. You can't just say just deal with it when that's
I'm going to say just deal with it, Brendan.
That's because your team's never there.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about it.
In Frisco.
Yeah, look,
and ESPN getting SDSU wrong, or Mark Gronowski's name wrong. It's Mark fucking Gronowski. Learn his name.
Oh, they got Gronowski, Gronkowski. Oh yeah.
Listen,
they within the first 2 minutes of that game, they had his name wrong 3 times.
Yeah. Listen, Matt gets to enjoy this game the way I get to enjoy this game, because we already know SFA is not going to be in Frisco come about October 1st, right? So I get to relax the whole time and just get drunk. Right? I don't have to worry about my team losing or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to see Crazy Matt come out for this weekend when we're in Frisco. I'm looking, it's 2 margaritas and Matt. I'm looking forward to 20 margaritas with Matt at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be deep. On that plane surface thing, I thought the surface has been great except for last year. There was something wrong about last year. I don't know. It didn't seem like it was right to me. Prior to last year, though, it seemed like it was always
good.
It seemed like it was really slow.
The field.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something was wrong. I gotta ask Zach though. Here, Facebook user, did Coach Pride win the Celebration Bowl? I noticed your amazing sweater of my Rattlers, who I've been defending all year. Coach Prime, did he win this year? I'm just curious.
I don't think he won much of anything at all this year. I mean, heck, didn't they lose to Stanford, who Sac State put a beating on week 3? But no, man, I'm happy for Willie Simmons, man. Like, I think if you watched that game, you saw the emotion. Like, as soon as that clock hit 0, there was like an amazing picture where he was just like, he fell down to one knee. And I mean, I think this was a long time coming. I mean, you look at what they've done. What program can you say has lost, 3 games, like FCS games in the past 3 years and not had a championship? This is crazy, man. So I was happy for him. I'm interested to see what they do next year, though, because they lose Musa. They're losing a few top contributors. If he can go back to back, I mean, we're looking at maybe one of the next SWAC dynasties.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, they were fun to cheer for all year, and I personally love their colors. I hate their snake mascot because snakes scare the shit out of me, but they were fun to cheer for, and it's exciting to see them get that win. And shout out to Howard too. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be as close as it was, so that was a good game. It was fun to see.
That Howard defense is a very underrated defense. So just to see them kind of hang in there for a while and really lead that game for a while, and then the last 18 to 25 minutes, it just became a shootout, and that all that does is favor FAMU. And like Zach said, all the credit to Willie Simmons. So happy to see him finally get that.
Hey, yeah, Howard just didn't have any depth. I mean, their defensive line was like 4.5 people deep. And by the fourth quarter, they could not get any more pressure on Musa. And then also Willie Simmons called a heck of a game. I mean, to call a flea flicker in that moment with the game on the line, I mean, that took balls, man. I mean, I know the OC and everyone was on the headset like, "Are you sure, coach?" Like, you do know you just called a flea flicker, and the quarterback almost dropped the ball, but then Musa hit the running back up the seam. I mean, listen, you got to give Willie Simmons a whole lot of credit for his play calling down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, scared money don't make money, and scared plays don't win. Like, I mean, that was.
Yeah, that's fun to say when it works, and then when it doesn't work, it's like,
listen,
come on, you should stick to what NDSU's been doing all game.
No, I would rather
apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Both those 2-point play calls were horrible.
Yeah, at least in the flea flicker, you got the ball to the starting quarterback rather than letting like your fifth best wide receiver throw a pass.
Right. But hire him. That's what Twitter says, right? They say hire him. Hire that guy. I don't know. You never know. Don't make it about the Bison. I have a question for Adam. I'm curious about this. We've been saying for years, Jamie and I and the crew and all these folks, hey, Frisco's, it's not going to sell out if we don't get this team, and then always Montana. Every single time somebody will say Montana when they say that statement. And everyone's been pumped up about the Grizz possibly going because of the party.
Oh, yeah.
What, if any, factors are going to prevent Montana from completely consuming Frisco?
Probably another ticket fiasco, maybe. I don't know. Other than that, you're going to have a large contingent. There's, my buddy that's on the pod for us, Luke Rounds. He's already got his tickets. He's already got flights. People, who I've talked to that are Grizz fans already have flights. So it's definitely going to be a lot of Grizz fans there, and it's going to be a one for the ages, I think. So I have to give props to the Jackrabbits though, because they're an amazing team, and we're going to have to play our best to beat them, just because we haven't been playing our best the last 2 games. So,
hey, one tie on to this: if each of you watching Venmo's Adam $10,
there you go.
You can come to make it to Frisco.
There you go.
From there, so especially all you got Fight on Montana faithful, support your boy. He's giving you good coverage all year. Pay him back. Get him to Frisco. I think it's well deserved. Just gonna help you out.
I'm just a poor school teacher, so yeah, there you go.
Kyler's got to be.
You're a school teacher?
I am.
What's your Venmo, Adam? I'll send you money now.
You know what? I don't even have a Venmo. That's how
you're from Montana.
I am. So yeah, that's probably something I need to get.
Got to Pony Express it to him, Matt. Apparently,
I'm about to destroy our Twitter with get Adam to Frisco.
Get Adam. That should be the new thing. Get Adam to Frisco.
I have a question. Did Chad jump out of the screen so he could make a YouTube comment and then jump back in?
No,
I did not. I was coughing,
Yeah,
and
cough.
the interface
Right,
is
yeah,
so
yeah,
much different when you're not the
right.
when you're not the host. That I did it the way I normally did, which just took me off, and I had to be brought back on. So sorry, y'all.
Ooh.
Matt, 7th rotation pod.
Oh, hey, what's up, Maddie?
Oh, yay.
What up,
Maddie?
Maddie?
Hi. Sorry, I
An
just
OG
got
of the
home.
book club.
Way to slack.
Yes, I still have the Bible with everybody's signature.
True Brady
Mike
Bunch
was
style
asking
now.
if you were going to be around the other day. I mean,
Who?
college campus football tour.
Oh, Mike Barker asked if I was going to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
asking where you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be in
Yeah.
Frisco.
Did you? I was going to ask. Did you get your?
SDSU influence on this?
Well, I mean, to be fair, outside the big show, probably the SCSU shows get the second most traction on our channel. So, I mean,
Second
let's-
most?
yeah,
Oh,
let's-
I hate
on
I
our
hate to-
channel, not all y'all's channel, our channel specifically.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Adam's Montana show
Oh,
in
that's
the
true. He
last
does.
Great.
30, 40
does.
days is just absolutely on fire. That thing is
Yep.
a monster. Those Grizz fans are coming out of the woodwork. And credit to those guys. They do a great job. But holy crap, you guys are putting numbers up.
Should we just
We
change
are,
the name
we
of the
are.
page to FCS Grizz fans? Because I feel like that's all it
Heck
is.
yeah. Switch it up.
Yeah, we
So,
gotta give a shout out to all the Grizz fans. They've been awesome all year round. So
Yep. Now fix your teeth, you Grizz fans. But no, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, what do we think the split will be in Frisco? Do we think that? I think honestly, because SCSU took advantage of the early ticket sales, right? They assumed they're rightfully so they'd be back. I'm still thinking it's going to be maybe 60-40 blue versus maroon, 55-45, somewhere in there. There's a lot of seats in resale right now, though.
I mean, if we're talking smack, how many of their houses can make it to Frisco?
Oh God, dude. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Rev wanted some smack talk. Here I am.
It is very true. The better smack you put on the comments, somebody will put it up. So, but no, that's
I
no,
love the Grizz fan. They have 26,000 people in attendance, right? We heard about it. They caused what? 9 false starts, Matt? How many was it?
Well, the thing, lots of false starts. The thing is though, January's a winter month, so if it's an outdoor stadium in the winter, Grizz fans are definitely going to actually be able to fill a stadium compared to some South Dakota State fans. So you're thinking about a split.
Sticking up for him. Those
are real outdoor fans that are capable of pulling it off.
I don't think any of the four of us
That's
on
fair.
here will argue with that. We all think our casual fans are pretty soft.
Yeah.
Talk smack, receive smack. Bring it on.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I think the fact that Montana, we'll talk about the attendance because there's all these posts about the attendance. I think it's great that you guys get 26,000 in a game. Like that's nuts. You know what I mean? I mean, there's G5 schools who don't do that, and you guys are doing it.
I know of one that does.
We're not talking about ODU.
You don't count as people anymore. You're an FCS.
Anyway, my thing though is that it was very impactful against NDSU, right?
Yeah.
But if it was impactful, it wouldn't be NDSU who had won, all the championships in the 2010s. I'm just saying, like, my thing is that people are shit talking South Dakota State for only having 14,000, 15,000. I'm like, dude, they're winning. Okay. They're loud too as well. I think it's great you have fan support, but attendance doesn't matter if your team doesn't produce on the field. So
yeah, South Dakota State blew up Frisco last year too. Everyone thought that it was, NDSU had already bought tickets and it's probably gonna be 60-40, but there were way more Jack fans there last year, which is why I think Montana actually might have a good shot to maybe outdo SDSU. SDSU may have had the head start, but I can't imagine how much Montana fans are willing to shell out to buy resale.
But they're gonna pay out the ass.
Are they willing to give for the
now.
experience?
How many tickets do you think Washington gets, Adam? He has the stadium named after him.
It's going to be a lot. I for how long we haven't been there, since 2009, you've got a lot of fans that have been waiting for this. I bet it's going to be a lot of fans. I would say more closer to the 55-45. for the Grizz Nation. We travel well. It doesn't matter where you're at. There's always a Grizz fan somewhere. So not to disrespect you, because I totally agree with you that you actually have to be able to fill the stadium, and you've got to be able to play well. The last couple of years we haven't been, and then this year we've actually exceeded what we wanted to do, and made those expectations reality. So
yeah,
I will back that up, because we played Montana at home twice, once in 2008 and then 2 years ago. Both times they sold out their section.
Yeah,
we're 20-some hundred miles away. Yeah, they sold out their damn section. In 2008, Jeff Fisher was sitting there in the middle of the stands. I was on the other side freezing my tail off. But yeah, I mean, as much as we like to make fun of Montana fans, and because it's so well deserved, they travel well. They travel wherever they go. They travel well. They're going to travel well to Frisco. It's going to be awesome for all of us to experience. And then Rev, Zach, Matt, and I, we get to just enjoy the game.
Yeah, and I'm going to buy beers for Montana guys. You see me in my SFA gear, come up, say hi, I'll buy you around. Like, I'm not, a complete dick in person. More so on the page than I am here.
Don't believe him.
Emphasis on complete.
I do want to say, I think it's probably going to be more 50-50.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it with the fans. Because, like Matt said last year, everybody it's going to be all NDSU fans. It's going to be all NDSU fans. There's one thing the SDSU fan base will completely mobilize and rally for. It is a big game. WNIT championships, Summit League tournaments, Frisco. I know from contacts that the SDSU ticket office 3 weeks ago had more requests for Frisco tickets than by like double over what it had last year. I'm thinking it's going to be 50-50. It'll surprise the hell out of Montana fans, because I know your noses are so goddamn far in the air about your attendance. There's going to be a lot of SDSU fans, and it's going to really surprise some Grizz fans, because, and I rip on them all the time. I call our fan base soft. I call them pansies, all this crap. And it irritates me to a point that they show up for the FCS championship game, but it's also great they show up for the FCS championship game. I've had more people ask me for tickets, like I'm a guy who's got connection for tickets, than anything. So I think Montana fans will be surprised. I think SDSU fans will be surprised. Hopefully everybody gets along. That'd be good, because lots of kissing cousins. Yeah, Montana will be there. We get it. Don't wear anything wool. It'll be fine. I've got a joke about that. You want to hear a joke about that?
You're all the same people.
You need to tell it.
Wait, is it a joke? Is it like my sheep joke?
Alaska goes down and his car breaks down. Guy from Alaska, his car breaks down, and he's in Montana. And the mechanic from Montana is working on his car. He comes in, and the guy goes, "Well, it looks like you blew a seal." And he says, "Screw you. You screw sheep. You screw sheep."
That's as bad. That's as bad as my condom joke that I say about Montana folks. But
if it makes you feel better, Montana fans, this is the jokes we get all the time from the U's in our deal for being at the egg school. So we've heard all. We get it. I just wanted to throw a little jab, because you guys got plenty that it's going to be coming my way, I'm sure. But I won't be surprised if somebody walks up and smacks me in Frisco. And
yeah, right. They've never seen. They've never seen you in person.
That's what I was about to say. Like, man, I've never felt small. I walked to that South Dakota State tailgate last year, and I was like, damn, man, I thought we were big in Alabama, but Jesus.
When Brendan's wearing blue, man, he's built like a kiddie pool. Like, I'm just thinking, dude,
it's
saying I'm fat, Rev?
Saying you're elongated.
I'm the fat guy of the group. Don't take my shtick.
Well, just the size.
I'm just glad it's Montana. We get to interact with the new fan base. That'll be fun. We know they know how to shit talk, because apparently Sean and Joe are the worst pollsters ever, and how that goes. So they've been on people's asses since day one in the FCS.
All right. Speaking of Sean and Joe, can we make a pact now with all of FCS Fans Nation that next year on Twitter, when they put out their send Sean and Joe to whatever school, everybody votes
CVS.
Houston Christian. Everybody votes Houston Christian, sends their ass to watch a game from the CVS parking lot.
We got them pretty damn close for how well you guys did put the rally in to get. I think I got them. Rev and I got them, and Kyler got them to like 30% of the vote, which is pretty damn good.
We'll
they
get
were
BT
getting a little,
Mafia behind it, and it's gonna just
yeah,
they're going to Houston Christian.
exactly.
That'd be amazing.
That's why I asked them which stadium they don't want to go to in their last mailbag.
They
The real-
dodged that like Bill Clinton in the draft.
Oh my god!
Dude.
Right?
I just want to go to Alcorn now talking to Zach. Gosh,
I don't think- I mean,
that
wanna
sounds
experience
fun.
that.
And I don't think any of y'all have been there. I don't even know Zach's been to the Houston Christian Stadium. Like, it is a dump. It's one of the ugliest pieces of shit I've ever seen as a stadium. It's got stands on one side and a CVS parking lot, and that's it. That's all you.
So it's about one step.
No,
up.
but it's
Go
about the holistic experience.
Thanks,
they
Seth.
can have fun in Houston.
No,
If
they
we
can't.
send them to Macomb.
No. well,
Do you know? Like, I know.
First of all,
it says,
no. So
it
that-
says Houston Christian, but it's not in the middle of Houston.
No, it's
Like, I
not. It's
get
in-
it,
it's in
not
Sharps-
in the nice
it's-
part of Houston.
No, it's in Sharpstown.
Okay.
It's in the hood, and you can't drink on campus. There's no bars around that campus. Like,
Okay.
my eye doctor's next to that campus. There's nothing there. Like, they're gonna be sitting in the CVS parking lot and folding chairs with a cooler and just
Say-
miserable.
What flavor Slurpee do they want? That should be the real old question.
I'm just saying. I know. I talked to a guy who's been to a buttload of stadiums,
Yeah.
and he said the worst stadium he's been to is Macomb.
Well, he hasn't been to Nacogdoches, but we're working
By
on that
far.
for next year.
Chad, I heard your faded Fargo Dome jab there.
No,
No,
it's
no,
a
that was
Dakota
a-
Dome.
Dakota Dome.
Dakota Dome. Okay.
Well, clearly
I was
air on
talking
that.
about shopping malls. It's
I was
okay.
gonna say you just said it though. We don't have the worst stadium, and don't even have a stadium. Ain't a stadium.
It's not a stadium.
You're talking
You don't own it.
stadium.
So there's that too.
Anything with anything with a
It's an
roof
arena.
or a track is not a stadium.
Wow.
I'll
It's a
take it.
facility.
So,
That's
okay,
okay.
fine, fair. So Zach, since we have you here and you're not, if you're actually better at this than most of us, what are your thoughts on the national championship game? The two teams. I mean, are you?
What real interest?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, anything can happen in a given game, but I mean, it's just like right now, like I've said this for 5-6 weeks. When you look at South Dakota State and you look for a weakness, and you're like, when I like analyze the games, I'm like, okay, how would I
It's the
attack them?
attendance.
Yeah, the weak.
Yeah.
Exactly, perfect. I mean, because how would you attack them? I mean, really and truly, because you can't run on them, you definitely can't throw on them, and if you don't have an accurate quarterback, Tucker Large and Deshaun Gales and Beanham are gonna create turnovers. And then my one critique was they couldn't get to the quarterback. Well, at the end of the season this year, they started getting to the quarterback pretty damn well, and when I look at the offense, man, I mean, the running back room's there. You have an experienced wide receiving core, and that offensive line. I mean, I don't think people realize. Like, I know people want to downplay Albany. Go watch the film on those two edge rushers. They just didn't pad their stats in the CAA. Both of those guys are going to get looks at the next level. They were elite edge rushers, and that offensive line made them look like high schoolers.
And they also recruited Jared Verse, so give Greg Caduceus credit.
Could you imagine that D line room with Jared Verse would have stayed at Albany? I mean, come on, man. It would have been crazy. But the one thing that I'm interested to see is Clifton McDowell, because I know I heard all the comments that he wasn't impressive in the North Dakota State game, whatever. Watching that kid's playmaking ability, though, is it's elite. And he's just a winner. And I think he's the type of guy that you're going to have at quarterback to possibly give South Dakota State problems because of what he can do with broken plays, extend plays. And I trust his accuracy a little bit more than I did Poffenbarger, because I talked about this last week. Poffenbarger's great at playmaking, but he turns the ball over way too much. And you saw that gunslinger mentality shoot him in the foot repeatedly. Clifton McDowell doesn't turn the football over at that high of a clip. So I think Montana's front seven is pretty good. I like their linebackers, especially their edge rushers. And the secondary, I think Corbin Walker and those guys in the back end, Trevin Gradney, those guys are good corners, and they're a little bit deeper up front than UAlbany was. So I think they're a way better matchup. But I'll be honest with you guys, South Dakota State from week 1 to now has been so dominant. Montana's going to have to play the best game of the year, and South Dakota State's going to have to make multiple mistakes for Montana to win that game.
I am excited
like
to see
kicking
that
the Bergen and punting the Bergen. That's what I'm hoping
Yeah,
for.
I would onside kick it.
Let's
I'll be
not
honest
do
with you.
that.
I'd kick it out of
I would
bounds.
onside kick it.
Kick it out of bounds.
Kickoff than I would ever kick into
I
Bergen.
would-
Just onside kick it.
I would kick it out of bounds. Put them at, give them a penalty, put them in the good field position, and trust your defense instead of going against letting Bergen.
I'm excited to
Well,
see if that Montana defensive line can stop Isaiah Davis. Albany specifically had the best rush defense in the country. I mean, Junkaj and Simon and Dylan Kelly, those guys all year did it, and they got manhandled by an offensive line, like Zach said, that has probably 3 guys that are going to be playing on Sunday.
I think
This
we'll be able
comment right
to
here.
stop the run. I think what's going to hurt us is the play action. I think we're going to be so focused on stopping the run. That's where you guys are. South Dakota State's going to get some of their yardage and their touchdowns is the play action pass. So
Pick your
So-
poison.
I have a
Yep.
question because we always do our what to watch and with this team, to be honest, sometimes it's like, God, this is like, what do you run the ball, play good defense, don't make
Don't
mistakes,
turn
get
the
ahead.
ball over.
Like, okay, it gets old, but a more interesting
don't
thought
lose.
process to me, because we've been the underdogs against Matt's team forever. ever and ever and ever. And his fan base pissed me off so goddamn badly the last 2 games because it's like, yeah, we're the top dog. Come at us. Let's have this rivalry thing. And you talk to Matt or you talk to Brian or all my other NDSU fans. They're like, yeah, you're going to kick our ass. I'm like, what is this? Give me something. But Zach or Adam, either one of you guys, what can Montana focus on? Because they can do things. Like they're good.
yeah.
at things. So what does Montana need to win in and do in order to win the game?
The deep ball.
Deep ball.
Gotta have
Deep ball.
explosive plays. I mean, think about that Villanova game, how different it would be. If you guys remember that post route in the first half that the guy just dropped. I mean, it hit him in the chest.
Right.
He dropped it. What, a play later, they blocked the punt and return it. You go from being potentially up almost 3 scores to now being down by 1 because of a drop post route. I'll say this: Montana's wide receiving core is the most underappreciated receiving core in possibly college football. Because you don't have Junior Berg is not just the only guy in that receiving core. They have 3 guys who would start on any other team in the country. I love Aaron too. Aaron's one of my favorite players on that offense. I think his upside is ridiculous. They have to create explosive plays because South Dakota State's identity under Rodgers throughout the whole time he's been there will let you move the football not even between the 20s, possibly between the 20 to your 40. But once you get to that, it's over. You're not going any further. You have to beat South Dakota State by getting chunk plays because they're too good for you to drive the football down on 10, 15 play drives that take up 8 minutes. You're not doing that. You're going to have to score on quick, explosive drives. And I thought you saw UAlbany try to do that, and they just tried to force things too much. And so Montana, if they have an opportunity to create an explosive play, you have to hit on those. You can't have overthrows. You can't have drops. You have to move the football down the field explosively.
Yeah,
I think they need to work on trying to get Junior Bergen in space, use him as an extension of the running game. I mean, a lot of teams you can get outside and do the sweeps. You saw the Montana State, North Dakota State game. Both teams tried that. You can't really do that against the South Dakota State linebacking core. Adam Block's too fast. He's going to be there. But if you can get Bergen in space with the ball in his hands looking upfield, those are the plays you're going to be looking for. And he's the guy that we focus on because he's been an absolute legend status this playoffs. But, you got Montez who's come up with some big plays. And if you can get that going, then maybe you can get McDowell going in the run game a little bit more. That's Montana's key to me.
Well, I think you've got to get McDowell using his feet. The last 2 games, he's been kind of not doing that as well. And I don't know why against North Dakota State he was apprehensive of using his legs where I think that he was looking to pass where this whole year he was never looking to pass. And it was like he was pressing and trying to do too much. The defensive side of the ball, I think that you look at, I look at Alex Gubner. He's a beast in the middle. He's going to probably need to be double teamed if he can. And even during the NDSU game, he was getting double teamed and he was blowing up plays as well. He's going to be a force. I think that you look at our linebackers, there's going to be some blitzes that San Diego State. Wow.
Yes.
You're coming
Yes,
to Frisco now, and I'm going to find you.
Yes. Wow.
To my face.
Smack talk.
To my face.
The ability to act like it was an accident was so good. Well
God, he
done.
played
Yeah,
that well,
deserves
didn't
a
he?
fucking Oscar.
He's getting a swirly
Winner.
in Frisco.
That was so good.
Jackrabbits are going to have to try to get that.
You just made the
going,
hype
but-
video, bud.
You're on the hype video, my friend. Where's the Podfather? I know he's not on here, but he's recording this.
You know, we put in here for him to get his face on the goddamn thing.
That was
I know, right?
yeah, jeepers.
He had
So
to
to
go watch
answer
the
my
kids,
own
I think.
question, just because listening to your questions, answers, I'm going to push back a little bit. I think you guys are wrong because if you look at the close games this year, the teams that kept it close, Montana State, Southern Illinois, to an extent Villanova, they stayed on the field and kept the SDSU offense off.
Yeah.
SDSU's
Yep.
defense does not give up explosive plays.
Nope.
They just don't. Nobody's hit many of them all year. Just from watching it, it doesn't happen. They have the defense set up to make you drive the field. And because in college, you need an incredible offense to routinely drive. You need an extremely experienced offense, and you need a talented offense to drive the field methodically. This isn't the NFL where that happens. It's college. You hit big plays, score touchdowns. I think you need to stay on the field, drive the field, keep the SDSU offense off the field, keep the game close that way, and it helps keep the SDSU offense off of rhythm. If you get off the field too fast, and the Hogs are able to lean on, your D tackle, that dude who was giving NDSU problems all day. He got washed a couple times, but that dude's a stud. If he's on the field all day against the Hogs, like even 50-50 time split, he's going to wear out. It's just what's going to happen, especially at 280 pounds instead of 300 facing Gus Miller and Mason McCormick all day. Like, that's not a positive recipe, like especially with someone as nasty and mean as McCormick. It's just the way. It's not your ideal recipe. I think they actually need to do is stay on the field, possess the ball, don't let SDSU get into a rhythm. If the offense gets into a rhythm, Albany let it happen, Villanova let it happen, Mercer let it happen. They start clicking, those Hogs start pushing you around or wear you down. You saw it in the Villanova game. They wore down the Villanova defense. They were standing in there and taking the punches and taking the blows. In the second half, it blew open because they got wore down. I don't think if you shoot for explosive plays, you get off the field too fast, and this defense is kind of set up to not let it happen. Or if it's not defending against it, they're just good at stopping it. I don't know if that's going to work.
And if you take the big shot, you've got to hit it because you can't go 3 and out.
Right.
Like, which goes exactly to what Brendan just said.
Yep.
I think there's a balance, right? Because you can create explosive plays, but also especially with the new clock rule, you can be explosive, but also eat the clock. Like, it's not, yes, obviously you probably don't want a whole bunch of 2-play, 3-play drives because then you're like, Montana's way deeper though in the front 7 than either Albany or Villanova was. So I think that's a small advantage, but you can't be on the field for 35 minutes against South Dakota State. They're going to kill you like that. But I'm talking about 10, 12, 14, 15-yard plays. We haven't even seen a lot of those against South Dakota State. At least move the chains, because what happens a lot is they'll take a shot on first down, they'll miss it or make a mistake. It's 2nd and 10. They'll try to run it, and they'll have an uncreative run
1
play.
or 2 yards.
And then it's 3rd and 8. And South Dakota State's too good for a lot of teams to routinely convert on 3rd and longs. Or listen, they give up a big negative play early, and once you're in 2nd and long, South Dakota State is going to absolutely murder you. I'm more interested though with defensive wise, who South Dakota State is going to designate as the spy, because McDowell has to have a spy. I think Bach's athletic enough to do it, but also I know he's great in coverage and he's more of a nickel guy the way they use him. But if Bach comes off the field, I think that guy has to be Stallbird even over Jason Freeman. Stallbird is way too athletic, in my opinion, for him or Bach to be the guy. And I think Freeman's great. Listen, that kid's an All-American in my opinion. I just don't know if he's athletic enough in the open field. I don't like the matchup between him and McDowell compared to a Stallbird or a Bach in the open field.
Just
Freeman's
make sure you clip that and send it to him.
Yeah. If I'm Montana, I don't want McDowell getting hit by either of those dudes.
Exactly. No, they
I
don't.
mean, Bach hits hard, but those dudes are missiles.
Dahlberg hits like a freight train.
I never
he's
liked
a problem.
the play from the opening drive of the second half last week. I mean, he cut that poor Albany running back in half.
Yeah.
Scoop and score by Freeman.
Yeah.
I don't like the spy because you're spying on quarterbacks who are excellent athletes, and a lot of times that quarterback's a much better athlete than the spy. And one-on-one in open field, the better athlete's going to win most of the time. So I don't love the spy. You just got to stay in your rush lanes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't get up the field too far. Stay in those rush lanes. Easier said than done, obviously.
Yep.
One thing that I'm really interested to see is the Jackrabbits, right? Who have they faced? And I haven't done really too much preparation for the Jackrabbits yet, but who have you guys faced where you've had to pick up a lot of blitzes? Because Montana does a lot of stunting with their line and a lot of blitzing with their linebackers. Have you guys played something like that where you're going to be used to that? Because even NDSU had said that. What's that? Sorry.
UND. That's all they do.
They don't
blitz out of their minds, and it did not go well.
Southern Illinois too. Southern Illinois runs like a similar 3-3-5 scheme that Montana does too, and they're super aggressive. That's why, if I'm not mistaken, Southern Illinois coming into that game was the #1 defense in the country rush against the run coming into that South Dakota State game. I know they didn't finish that, but I want to say they were leading at that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Illinois, Villanova.
Adam Kyler was really big on that the last couple weeks and pretty the whole season. He says nobody closes and collapses like Montana's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just once the ball carriers got the ball, they will swarm so quickly. And I was kind of like, okay, sure. And then against NDSU, I was like, we're not breaking like any tackles in this game.
Yeah.
Like, it's quick and down. I don't know about the big explosive.
That'll be a fun matchup versus Isaiah Davis. But to be honest, when you say that, and having watched them with how hard they close down, you're gonna remember Amar Johnson. If that, he's
ask
built
Matt
for that.
Ask Matt about Amar. He's
sort of game.
So I'd say
Amar is the Bison killer.
Yeah,
I mean more so than Zay is.
Every bunny's a Bison killer the last 4 years.
All right, I was gonna say the last 4 years. Okay.
Yeah. I'll say one place we haven't talked about where Montana is going to potentially dominate South Dakota State is singing tummy in their fight song. Very important stat. They're just going to kill that. I mean, seriously, what the hell?
That's how you go 2 for 8 in national titles. You put tummy in your fight song.
I think if, at least from my small sample size, which is the NDSU game, if you can get Clifton McDowell outside the pocket, not running, he makes less good decisions outside the pocket. And if we can put pressure on him, that's the key to the game for us, in my opinion.
I hope that
Offenbarger.
Yeah, I hope the Jackrabbits just watch the NDSU film because for the whole year,
watch more than I do.
For the whole year, McDowell has been running, and so that's what frustrated me. And I was yelling at the TV.
I heard you earlier.
Yeah, because it did not make us any sense at all. His whole year was, hey, I'm not going to pass the ball because sometimes it's unpredictable what he does with the football, but just to use his legs, 224 pounds coming at you, he has speed that you don't look like you're like, oh wow, he's not going that fast, but he's a good runner. I think that's going to be more of a thing to look at with, can they get him out? Will he do that? I would just be running McDowell. And then I hope that he actually has an X on him too, because then that just opens up Bergen through the middle where they should be using him with fast passes in the middle of the field to get him out in space.
I did
McDowell's
preface
trust
that.
himself.
What's that?
I did preface that. It was outside the pocket, not running.
Yeah, because the thing I saw with McDowell this past weekend is he didn't trust himself. Like if you go watch the Montana State game, man, there was a throw he made where he rolled out of the pocket, like I want to say to his left, and I want to say it was Bergen on the post route. And I'm talking about he flipped his hips and turned his body, and I'm talking about hit him right in the chest. And that was an elite level NFL throw. He can make those throws out of the pocket, but for the past 2 weeks, even against Furman, he did it too. It was like he hesitated, and he was like, "Okay, we got to the playoffs. I can't take that risk now." And he's got to get that out of his head. Take the risk because you've been hitting on those plays all year. And that's why I hate sometimes when quarterbacks overthink it. You play one way to get you to the moment. You get to that moment, and then you overthink it and you go away from what got you there. It makes no sense. And I think that's kind of what hurt Montana for the past 2 weeks. I don't think that Furman game, Furman's a great team, and I thought it was going to be a close game, but it wouldn't have been as close if McDowell trusts himself, because there were some opportunities down the field to be made, and he just tucked the ball and ran instead and didn't trust himself.
I was watching that game against NDSU and
On a party.
I've watched Montana games more than NDSU, believe it or not. And I was like, God, if he's scary for sure, if he plays like other games, not NDSU, not even Furman, but prior games, Montana State, things like that, he's a very scary player. You know, his athleticism's up there. He'll be up there with the most athletic quarterbacks that SDSU's played. Probably the most athletic over the course of this.
I don't know that he's got much on
season.
Stone Labanowitz though.
Right, talking this year. Talking this year. I personally am excited for Stone Labanowitz to talk about how the athleticism of Montana wide receivers, they're going to run all over the SDSU.
They have better athletes.
They have better athletes.
They got better
NFL
athletes. He
caliber
said that
players.
like 7 times, and there they sit with the best pass defense left. But whatever.
Can we address Ariel's
if
comment
he
real quick?
plays like he did against NDSU, it's not good for Montana, because no offense, Matt, SDSU has a better defensive line than NDSU does, and he's going to get cut in half at some point
So-
if he tries to sit behind the line of scrimmage and overextend plays too much. When he should, like, there's a lot of times where it's like, God damn it, take off, get that 5 yards and move down.
He's got to be decisive.
Yeah, he has to be very decisive, and he's not.
I didn't have that much of a dog in the fight. I was cool with whoever won, but I wanted Montana to have Montana fans be there, because I think there'll still be too many NDSU fans that are pissing me off going, you guys are gonna win. So I wanted Montana fans and their excitement and all that.
Twin
It's
Peaks
gonna make it a
be
lot
in the
more fun.
Twin Peaks and
Twin
Fargo
Peaks-
is fine.
Yeah, let's
Doing
real
okay.
Twin Peaks and
No,
Frisco's gonna shut
real
down.
quick, guys, pour some out to the restaurants in Frisco because they lost their fan base.
R.I.P. tight ends.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Yep, I'm reading the note.
Yeah, Ariel's comments like, "Where's Kyler? He should be on here talking about his team. He even got a tattoo." So listen, Ariel, he texted me. He's in Vegas putting $1,000 in the Grizz to win, so he can get more of a tattoo.
He's gonna get a leg sleeve.
He wants to get the entire piece. He wants to get Walgreens tattooed on one thigh, and then the Brawl of the Wild trophy tattooed on the other.
He wanted
right
that
there.
fight song with the tummy.
I thought he was going to get it on his lower back.
I want him to make a tattoo bet that on SDSU, so that way if Montana does win, I have the solace of him having to get like an arm sleeve of Grizz tattoos or something. I want something to make me feel better.
Mauve, the best color for a tattoo.
Oh yeah, Mom is just going to show up great.
The
I think
environment
it should be a
in Frisco,
Grizz bear paw on his face.
the environment in
Get the
Frisco-
fight song with the tummy on his tummy.
You get tummy on his tummy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Perfect.
I like your style. Yes.
No, I hear Matt saying the environment in Frisco is going to be amazing. I think with Montana coming in excited, with SCSU coming in, feeling a little bit cocky. Not saying you guys are cocky, but you got the good feeling because you won last year. You're back again. Like, it's going to make the bars a lot of fun.
Oh, I'll be nervous.
nervous.
I'll be nervous by Thursday before. Just wait till then.
It's going to be.
That's how I was this week going up to Albany.
I already have my plan to troll the SCSU fans again at the local and get have somebody yell at me to suck their D, like I did last year.
That's okay. You're a big Montana fan. Just ask Mark.
Local was awesome.
Well, I've been in contact with the local. They're talking with us and stuff like that. They asked. I was like, "So you guys having karaoke again?" And they said, "Whatever you guys want." So, you guys want karaoke
go.
again? I know
Friday night at the
Dallas,
local,
Yes.
baby.
our guy Dallas was like, "I will effing leave." But besides Dallas, who
Dallas isn't going to
is a
show
fun
up. He's got
sucker.
hockey games.
He's working on
Hey,
that.
don't
Dude,
blame him.
hockey
He's a
parent
good
life is
dad.
tough,
All right.
dude. That's tough.
He's a good dad.
But
No, he's a great dad.
He's not some soft ass pansy sitting in a bar during the game. Anyways, talking
Pat
to
Powers is
literally
coming
every
after
one
ya.
of you who could have been at the game, and I hope you're offended because you deserve it. Anyways,
Oh my God.
but are we down for karaoke? Should I push for that? Is that a
Yes.
I'm putting it
Yeah.
out to the masses.
First
Which
of
night
all,
is that going to be? Is that going to be after our deal?
Jamie, Kyler, and I said post recording last week that if we go to the local and there's karaoke, that Jamie and I get to pick Kyler's song, and Kyler and I,
oh my
round
God.
the table. So if there's karaoke, that's
do
going
we
to be
want to
happening.
do it?
So.
When did we go to local? That was Friday night.
We went
wasn't
both
it?
nights.
We did Friday.
Set it up for Friday.
Well, we went Friday. Yeah, we went Friday, and then we went Saturday again in the afternoon, and then Saturday night we went to that other place that had karaoke. That was like a restaurant.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
we ended
restaurant
up
with
in
a-
all these places that had karaoke, like
Yeah.
to the point that I couldn't sing anymore because I told you.
That's why I
do
rapped
that with
instead of singing.
regularity.
Didn't want to,
That's right. Yeah, Friday
you're
at the local
golden.
sounds like a
Yeah,
great time.
Friday at the local.
We
sounds
got
like a
our
good
show
time.
to do too, so don't forget that. So,
Well, yeah, our show will be Saturday. That's fine.
all right, I didn't know.
And I'm leaving at like 11:30 to drive down to Snow's Barbecue. But that's a whole different deal.
That sounds like a good time.
If anybody wants to convoy down to the,
You're not
Legend
going to
Snow's
get back in
Barbecue.
time for your show.
11:30 at night.
I know. You realize what time Snow's opens?
8 a.m.
Yeah, at 8 a.m. So you realize unless you're first in line, you're going to be there until probably you won't get your food to 9:30 or 10. Then it's another 3.5 hour drive back from. Okay,
Yeah.
just
If we
listen,
leave at
one of
10,
us-
we'll be
one of
back
us-
at 1. The show's gonna be like 2
I mean,
or 3.
One of us
And-
lives in
and I've
Texas
seen-
and understands how it
I've
works.
seen the
I'm
I've
just
seen the
saying.
Twitter posts about it where there's 20 deep in line at 3 in the morning. So we're leaving at 11:30.
Mhm.
We'll get there at like 2:30,
Mhm.
and then we'll wait in
Mhm.
line, get food around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Leave.
Kevin, get out of here with your
Kevin,
mustard-based
Carolina
barbecue.
barbecue.
listen
is the
here,
worst,
if
man.
I-
Kevin, don't be short in your comments, okay? Just stop. I'm just saying. I will put $50 down that says Brendan doesn't make it back in time for your show.
Okay.
No, that's Ben. That's always late.
I think
Right.
Ben will.
It'll be a
saying.
big enough, long enough show that I'll get there with the.
No,
power
I'm
of
talking
my-
about the start, the beginning.
That's fine.
Yeah, $50.
I'm not that important, guys. Like, why do you?
$50 to
I
Alex's
so I get some
lemonade
airtime.
stand. Make sure it goes somewhere good. Don't give it to
That's right.
Brandon.
Well,
True.
yeah, we'll go to Alex's lemonade stand. So
See, Kevin's small, so that's why he had to threaten me with a cut block because he can't actually block. So I'll just actually block him like an adult male does.
you know, I
That's
you
a
know,
great
just
slam.
we love
dude.
Then
we
he
love
can,
you.
then
we
he can
love
get
you,
my
Kevin.
bags like a real Citadel grad.
Wow. Oh, the great bellhops.
Rev gets the bellhop.
I get the bellhop
like it.
joke. I do love when they play VMI for the silver corn dog. It's my favorite trophy. And
The corn dog is solid, yeah.
The silver weenie, it's the best.
So
Zach, did you really sign up for this?
Yeah.
Zach thought we were gonna actually talk stuff, and he's like,
Professional
no,
Sports Illustrated reporter Zach McKinnell on with us hacks.
It's like, I hope Sports Illustrated doesn't see this shit. Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. Let's see. I just saw this on my Frisco version. Plus, do you guys have any pro tips for me on anything? Yeah, if you're gonna be in a car with Ben, bring something to make it smell good.
Roll down the window.
Jesse, I actually have a real pro tip for you.
Bring the vitamins.
Have fun is the best tip.
Number one is if South Dakota State's up by like 20 points midway through the fourth quarter, don't be a nervous Jacks fan who thinks you
I'm
can
gonna be
still
that
lose.
guy again.
Just embrace that you're
That
probably
was
about
Chad,
to score.
yeah, that was solid Chad and Brendan.
That's a joke, of
100%
course.
me.
Jesse, serious advice. Just don't. It's not worth the tailgate for the security lines. Go in the stadium way earlier than you think because it's going to be a nightmare getting through those metal detectors and the ticket lines. And you could literally miss like intros and kickoffs. So
We were through in 10
But
minutes.
they did let us bring cowbells
Awful.
last year.
And
always awful.
FYI.
Always
if
awful.
you're
Good at
Alex,
it and wear bibs.
you
Jackrabbits
drink too
have
much
to
at
have those
tailgating?
cowbells, right? Because they don't bring fans, right?
Oh,
Whoa.
No. We have hard hats.
Oh, hard ass.
I'm gonna get the hard cowboy hat just for Texas.
So Jesse, the big thing about Frisco is
Amazon.
have fun. Go eat some good barbecue, not that crap that Kevin has in the Carolinas. Go eat some good food, hit the bars, have fun. I mean, and that's the biggest thing. Is just have fun, enjoy it. It's such a great atmosphere, especially when you have teams like and fan bases like this. Like, it's going to be an amazing game. I thought last year was one of my favorite environments for the game. Maybe because there's a lot more SDSU fans. I don't know, but I feel like I had more fun last year, and I was not drunk. I was sober the entire game and enjoyed it more than any other game.
Because you're a celebrity with our fan base.
There is
that is true. Your fans do love me, so it's. I've already been asked. Like, are you wearing the bunny suit? I was like, no. That was
Can we get a bear
thing.
suit this year? Can we get like a grizzly suit?
No. That was a special thing.
That
was
trying
a
to
special.
call Rev a bear?
I mean, we could talk, but no.
You would be morally obligated to reenact Super Troopers if he wears a bear suit.
Yeah, exactly. I did think about
Are you
wearing
chugging
that.
syrup? Because I'm down for that.
1, 2, 3, do it. No, somebody asked me, they're like, are you gonna? I was like, unless a certain person who works for a certain company based out of Mankato, Minnesota, wants to send me a bunny suit for free, it's just not gonna happen. Not to mention that bunny suit fucking fell apart last year, and I left it on Ben's rental car because it was in shambles. Like, it did. It was because of me. No, it was because of me. Okay. Like, I pulled, like, the eye parts came out. Like, it looked creepy by the fourth quarter. I looked like a luchador.
It was
basically.
creepy before the game. Come on.
It was
Sounds like he's got the hookup for the hot
It
dog.
got worse. It really got worse.
It was creepy when you were playing beer pong with it tied around you and the mask on. So we have like red chest and the fucking bunny suit tied around you, and you just tossing pong balls.
Did I win? Brendan and I won. I believe it worked. I think it was a well done.
Good luck charm.
Yeah,
distraction is key.
Distraction.
All right, fellas, it's getting late out here in the east, and I'm a sissy, so it's about bedtime for me.
11:30.
Enjoyed being out here, fellas.
11:30.
Jamie.
No, 1:30 is deep for
job.
Morgan Brendan.
So
2 o'clock for this.
Step
Yeah,
up to
y'all-
the plate, son.
Right there.
2 a.m.
I'll eat here,
look,
buddy.
I'm the
Yes.
old guy here, so I'm gonna. No, Chad's older than me. Yes, I'm not the old.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm older than you, bud.
Yes, finally.
Like,
We've
night,
established
Grandpa.
this.
Take your Musamil on stage.
Yeah. Don't forget your Centrum before you go to bed, bro.
Congrats to your Bills, Jamie.
Centrum Silver.
Yeah. Congrats to your Bills. Can't wait to see them fold in, the rest of the season and not make the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see.
I do think Jamie has a little more gray than I got, though.
Oh, I got a lot of gray here, bud.
Wow. Are we having
A lot of gray here, bud.
gray contest right here,
Rev's
bud?
got the
Not
most
here.
gray.
Yeah, I think Rev has
Rev's
me
got
beat,
us all
but,
beat. That's true.
all us 40 bangers with the grays here. So
But we don't have kids, Rev, so you come by yours honestly.
Well, this is more work than my child, so it's my
see you
my
guys.
child's
Did you
not
say
that-
you come
Yeah.
across your own kids honestly?
No,
No.
what? No.
It comes by gray, honestly.
Wow.
comes
Okay.
with
Okay.
Come
That
on,
was
man.
very confusing.
Come on, man. Don't take
Very
it.
tough.
We don't
poorly
need
phrased.
this. We don't.
That's
Abducting
just terrible,
children
bro.
here.
We don't need this taken off the channel. Okay, like okay, like we don't need investigation or anything. We already have enough.
We already
chicken
got
fingers.
Ben
That's
with
why I
the,
clarified.
the
just to
Asian
keep
dolls
it
going
safe.
on.
Yeah, Ben, my favorite weave. He is watching it because he put a comment in there that said he smells good.
Oh man, I do got to get him. I should have got him one of those pills instead, but the wiener costume
Is he gonna wear the hot dog costume in
Has to.
Oh yeah, no, he's got
Nelson's
you.
got it hooked up.
That's amazing.
Hems the brakes. Hems the brakes.
Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to see that. I'm gonna definitely get a photo with him. Make it my Twitter photo for the year. That's good.
It's actually gonna be
That's kind of crap though, Brendan. Like, I mean, and here's why: because you had that headset and you wore it for what, all of 2 seconds?
I routinely offered to wear it multiple times, and he was like, "No," like thinking I was going to take it easy on him next time. No, you don't get to soft play me into being nice. No, he knew that was a fraudulent victory that he won off of me sacrificing picks because of the good luck of picking against SDSU. And so he was trying to be like, well, maybe he'll be nice to me this time. And I'm not. I'm not a good person. I'm a bad person.
Hey, Juice Master, we're not weird. You just have to be on enough of our podcasts to get all the weird references.
Ben still doesn't know what a weeb is. Ben, you can safely Google that. It's not like Chad's browsing history. It'll be fine. You can just
We explained to him Friday at tailgating. He's so pleading ignorance. Here's how much ignorance he's pleading. In our JI group chat, he sent a Japanese GIF this morning. That's
No, he's totally like, what? He's playing innocent. He's not. He's
I was
Let's
like,
be
nobody
honest.
believe him.
I was like, Ben, if I go on to like your Netflix or Hulu, am I gonna see like Sailor Moon or
Probably.
what's it, Cowboy
Like,
Bebop or
I'm just saying it would be pretty goddamn funny, and this includes Montana fans, if people were to walk up and give him memorabilia. I'm just saying I would piss myself multiple times. I'm
Buy
just
your
putting it out
favorite
in the
Japanese
universe.
comic.
Yeah, just pick one. I don't care. He'll figure out what a weeb is eventually. Keep saying you don't know what it is. The public will help you.
The problem is he'll like that. Then his collection will be full.
Ben, do you prefer ramen or do you prefer more of a hibachi when you go out to eat? Like, I mean, they're both great choices. I just want to know what you like better.
I'd just like to say that my browser history, I know what an incognito tab is. So y'all can piss off.
Well, at least you're not making that better.
Yeah.
But okay.
Just saying I know how to use a computer, okay?
Let's try to get back to football a little bit.
At some point.
Since I caused this mayhem.
Matt, did you sign on for this?
Zach is like, what's a weeb? He's Googling.
Adam looks completely confused.
He's Googling it right now.
Zach's
Like,
next piece of Sports Illustrated. What is a weeb?
Yeah.
That's why. Oh,
We got 2
Matt's
weeks till the
quiet
Natty,
'cause he's-
so we need
goddamn,
content.
Okay.
Oh, I googled it.
He said, "Oh."
Anyways, player of the game, not Junior Bergen, because that's cheating.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
SDSU won't kick to him because otherwise all of Rainbow Row is going to have to jump on me because I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, you know,
And
the
I'm
easiest
sitting
way,
next to you, and I'm afraid if that happens.
Yeah.
easiest
Right
way not
next
to
to you.
kick to him is just not to punt. I'm not
I
saying
want-
we won't punt.
He
kid
returns
got out of
kicks
bounds.
too.
Give me that taco bet. That's another Twitter.
It's
That's
taco
another
bet,
Twitter
yeah.
thing. They go, NDSU. I can't believe they'd punt to him. You're telling me he's not going to get one punt or
It should
one
be.
kick return
Yep.
all game
shouldn't.
long?
He
Yep,
should.
that's
But that
that's
was
called
a
good
lot
coaching.
more than one, though.
Yeah.
I'll take that taco bet
Y'all
any day of
got
the
two.
week.
I will.
Y'all
Yeah,
let,
yeah,
hang on.
yeah.
Y'all let
I'll
him
take that.
return
I'll
a
taco
punt.
bet you, Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all let
Kick
him
it
return a
short and
punt, and they
high.
kicked it to him with 50 seconds left. Y'all watched him return a punt and said 50 seconds overtime. Let's give him one more shot. Let's just kick it to him on the kickoff for fun. Kick. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Well,
like
he-
Montana
he has
offense
to
that
have
hasn't
some bad
scored
ones,
for
too.
over a quarter is more dangerous
Right.
than Junior Bergen.
He has to have some bad ones so that they'll actually kick it to him too. So he throws those in there as well.
He just throws the game so he gets a kick later.
I mean, yeah, like Bergen's such a weapon, right? He's a great wide receiver weapon, but man, he's more dangerous in special teams.
I've got my tweet
Oh,
in draft.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I've got
do
my
not
tweet
kick
in
him.
draft mode right now that says, I was told they wouldn't kick to Bergen. I've got that right there. So the second it happens, it'll go off on Twitter so fast.
Well, I realized that actually Chad is standing next to me at the game and Brendan's behind me. So for the love of God, don't kick to Bergen because I'm gonna die.
It would be amazing if they kicked it to him on the opening kickoff and he returned it, because Brendan would beat Bergen to the other end zone. But if that happened,
I've seen him run. He's not quite that fast.
You're gonna be like, "What's that Dodge Durango doing on the field?" And it's Brendan.
Yeah, you've seen the videos of the basketball coaches who steal the ball and knock it out of bounds. It's kind of like that.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
they
that, they
run
only
out
do
there
that
and
in Del
trip 'em.
Rapids.
I was just
Maybe
going
Maybe
to
it's the
say
game-saving tackle because that's just what, a 15-yard penalty, probably.
yeah.
It'd be
And
worth
it's
going to jail
ejection,
for,
but-
Brennan.
Jimmy's going to come off the sidelines, go back into his old linebacker mindset,
Right.
just clothesline him.
He's gonna kick my ass, is what he would do. Because
I bet Jimmy can still hit like a freight train.
That's
I
a
would
fact.
not bet
Yeah.
against that.
I saw someone tweet like who would win in a fight, like out of all the FCS coaches, and
That
it
was
was like
Jimmy.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Rogers. Would be
Rogers.
terrifying.
Jimmy Rogers.
no, it's Jimmy
Terrifying.
Rogers. They answered that wrong. Kevin was wrong. I know Jimmy. Like, that's Jimmy.
Jimmy Rogers would mess anybody up and then bring him back for seconds. Like it's just God,
Jimmy
no.
would hit a headspace that he's winning that fight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
All
sorry.
right. So player of the game. That's not
Just want to
Junior
go
Bergen.
around here. Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we
yeah.
saying for Montana
Or
or
Montana.
for the whole
Let's
game?
pick both.
The whole.
Pick both.
Let's pick both. Let's assume a
One or
victory
the
for
other.
either side. Yeah, let's pick that. So, let's go. Let's start with the Montana gentleman because he is kind of outnumbered here. Adam, who are your picks?
So I'm gonna.
We're all gonna boo you.
Do you want me to pick South Dakota State and my team as well?
Yeah.
Let's see that.
I would say your running back. He's gonna be hard to stop. But on the defensive side of the ball, I would have to say Braxton Hill or Alex Gubner.
All right, Maddie.
Are we going like who we think the player of the game is going to be?
Yeah,
Is that the
on either
question?
side.
If
Either
that
side,
team
yeah.
wins,
Side.
Yeah, either side.
Tucker Large, 100%.
All right,
Like it.
all right, Alex.
oh,
What's
I
the
kind
computer
of
say?
yeah. Some of the databases aren't updated, so I don't have numbers for today. But I agree with Adam. I think if Montana wins, it's in part because Alex Gubner wrecks this game. We always talk about, corner wide receiver battles and how fun those are to watch.
Mhm.
Gus Miller and Masick McCorman versus Alex Gubner is going to be damn fun to watch.
Yeah.
To circle back a little bit, like we hit on, it's going to really depend on Montana is going to have to keep SDSU's offense on the field because I don't care. You throw Aaron Donald out there, you lean on him for 40 minutes, he's going to start backpedaling. But like I said, if Montana is in this game late, it's because Alex Gubner has destroyed our game plan offensively. And then for the Jacks, if the Jacks win, it's boring, but give me Mark Gronowski again.
Mhm.
He goes back-to-back Frisco MVPs because he's going to distribute the ball well. He's going to make a couple plays with his legs, and the show goes on.
Yep. All right, Zach.
For South Dakota State, I want to kind of go off. I'm going to say Amar Johnson. He had a ridiculous game last year, and like we said, I think he's the running back that's built to have a big game against Montana. Part of me wants to go Jaden, but I think if it's always that kind of wide receiver quarterback duo where if Jaden goes off, so does Mark, and they're going to always kind of give it to the quarterback. So I'll go Amar. And for Montana, I think if they win the game, it has to be because Clifton McDowell played his best game. I know it's easy to go quarterback, but if he doesn't play well, Montana has no shot in this game. So I think if Montana wins, it's because Clifton McDowell takes home MVP.
Yep. Kiddie Pool.
I'm gonna go with Clifton McDowell for Montana, like Zach, because he's going, in my opinion, he's going to need to make big plays with his legs on third down to extend drives. That is still, and I blame Matt for this, nightmare fuel from Carson Wentz to Easton Stick, like nightmare fuel. 3rd and 15, good coverage, good pass rush, and then he scampers for 14 when they need 13, and you just want to punch a puppy right in the face. Like, it's terrible. So Clifton McDowell needs to channel that. And for SDSU, I am going to go with he wouldn't win it, but it would be something that people would talk about afterwards, because if this person wins it, Mark Gronowski will win it. And not saying he wouldn't be deserving, because Mark is, I think, he's up for the Walter Payton Award, but I think nationally among casual fans is incredibly underrated. Like, that dude is crazy good and doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But I think it'd be Zach Hines. Like, if you watch the touchdowns he had against UAlbany as a 6'7" man, the athleticism he showed on some of those plays is absurd. And SCSU fans have been begging for him to get involved, and he was super involved against Albany. And that Mark G to Zach Hines connection, if that's fired up, it is going to give Montana so many problems, because there's already so many weapons. And if they're hitting Zach Hines, because he's just too big, it's like an offensive tackle that can jump, run, and catch, which is absurd. So if he gets going, he absolutely would be my player of the game that I'm picking, which is unfair, because we always talk about how SDSU's defense doesn't get the credit it deserves.
Oh God, here we go again.
Hey, We said it like 3 times.
You
I'm not
guys
saying
have
they should
whined
be
about that since all the
All-Americans.
awards came out.
I'm
Like,
not whining about it.
you are
I'm saying-
number one at whining about the fact that your defense.
I'm saying that the defense is overshadowed by the
No-name
offense.
defense.
I think that's a fair thing to say.
You
I'm
are
not
the
saying they should be
Yokozuna
up for the
of-
Buchanan Award just because you want to create your bullshit shit talking narrative. We've said it like 4 times, but this defense is really good. But you can't pick somebody because who do you pick? So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Zach Hines. Fuck it, Rev.
All right.
I'm
Chad,
gonna fart bare-assed on your pillow so you get pink eye.
I'm not staying with you. I intentionally.
Because I'm not gonna be over there. I'm not gonna be over there.
I will. So I'll tell you. I will tell you which.
I'm gonna go to Matt. Here's $30. Where's Rev's room? And I'm gonna fart bare-ass on your pillow. You're gonna get pink eye, and you'll be like, "Son of a bitch!" You was kidding.
That's okay.
Good thing Madison signed up for this.
I won't tell you what I did to your pillow last year. So. All right, Chad.
Yeah, but I've got the immune system of a god.
Okay.
A Norse god, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, if
Working
you
at
were paying
wastewater, you get a
attention
lot of-
to the last podcast that was right before this, then I picked number 87 as well for all the same reasons, and the fact that NDSU had great success with their tight ends. If they could just catch the ball, they might have won that game. Sorry, Matt. They normally do.
Matt's on this show.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
genuinely, you're too nice of a guy. I genuinely feel bad.
I thought you guys were all Canadian for
that's who
I'm
I'm picking for the SDSU offense. You know, the Grizz offense, obviously the easy picks Clifton McDowell, but I think Gilman would be key because if they can't run the ball, then they can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. I don't think anyone's going to argue with me on that. And the guy that's getting overlooked on the defense by this group, Braxton Hill. Dude's a stud, right? And if he's having a day, we're not. So, I mean, Matt, you can weigh in on that, bud, but I think Braxton Hill's going to be key. And we haven't talked about special teams, but if you guys have to rely on Nico Ramos, that's going to be a bad day for you.
Well, and he's been Grant Glasgow was our kicker when we played Idaho.
Right.
Had the couple bad ones and then went to Nico. Grant has the better leg. Nico is the senior, and so a lot of times in our department of Montana, the senior gets the go. That probably won't happen. Yeah. So that won't happen here in the championship game.
Yep.
All right,
Mr. Frazee, you have any picks?
Well, as the only human here on planet Earth since January of this year who said this FCS season is a waste of time. SDSU is going 15-0 undefeated, privately and publicly. Nobody can claim that. You can say you did it quietly. I've said it publicly the whole time. Scrub it. It's over. They're winning it all. If SDSU wins it all, the only other guy a few years ago, too, who said Mark Gronowski's Easton Stick 2.0, we're tracking pretty good on that. Yeah, it'd be Mark Gronowski for SDSU for sure. Why not a guy like Corbin Walker, though, who intercepts 2-point conversion passes? Because here's the thing. I wasn't able to get this in. If Montana wins, it won't because they play. It's not because they played their game. It'll be like 2017, NDSU James Madison, which I've only had 4 feelings in my gut where a season was a waste of time. 2013 NDSU, 2018 NDSU, 2017 James Madison, who came up short, and then this year's SDSU team. I felt like those teams were going to go all the way. And James Madison, 3 turnovers against the Bison that day. It doomed them. And all NDSU did after those turnovers was slowly just keep possession, keep field position, and wind it down to almost survive all the way to the end. And not big plays, nothing crazy besides one pass. And I think that's how Montana can win this game. I don't think they will, but I actually think that would be the way to do it. So a guy like Corbin Walker or a senior cornerback, some guy like that coming up with a pick, maybe forcing a fumble, I think would be key to them winning. Because without SDSU having more than 2 turnovers minimum, I don't see how Montana's going to win this game. So I think it's got to be some defensive guy who steps up and makes those plays. So that's.
I mean, Ryder Myers are also a stud out there at safety, so don't forget that guy.
Yep.
We'll have to see how it goes. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, like I think I know who I would. I think if Montana were to win, they're going to give it to someone like Clifton McDowell as quarterback. Although it's probably going to be because of the play of the defense that's going to keep them there. Yeah, like I think that's what it is. But I think South Dakota State wins. It's going to be Davis. He's going to just have a day running, right? Like I think that's what it'll be. So I think he'll just wear out the Montana defense and go to town if they get to follow their game plan. It'll be an exciting game for sure. I'm hoping it's a little more competitive than last year's game, just from a fan perspective. Because that shit got boring real early.
It's really nice to have.
I was sitting there going, God, I wish
second half.
I was sitting there.
I was nervous the whole second half.
Yeah, Chad was nervous.
Everybody here can tell you that.
I was sitting there, in a bunny suit, leaned up against the rail, going, "God, I wish I didn't have to clear TSA in a few hours. So let's start drinking because I'm kind of bored with this because it was just, just kind of boring game. Like, one of the teams showed up. It was kind of like, Brendan talked about punching a puppy in the face. It's kind of like what SDSU did this past Friday. Like,
before we get out, Rev, before we get out of here, I gotta say to Thumper though, he is right because Bison fans are already talking, myself included.
Brendan.
Brennan.
Yep. Brennan.
No, I just know Thumper.
He joined
us.
That's
fine, but not everybody knows
Thumper.
Thumper.
That's fine.
I've also called them. I've also said Albany all year too, but it is what it is. But Thumper, like you said, Bison fans are just like, listen, if we beat the Grizz, that's great. Like, I was cheering so hard for NDSU to win, and as soon as that 2-point conversion happened, I was pissed for 60 seconds, and then a little bit of relief set in where I was like, okay, well, now I don't have to wait for 3 weeks to get wiped by SDSU. I think Grizz fans, rightfully so, and it could happen, they really are like, we can go win this game. And that's what's going to make it way more fun to defend Thumper's point, is like, 80% of the Grizz fans are like, we're going to go there. We're going to win this game. I don't care what the Jackrabbits look like. And I think that will make the environment down there just awesome. So it's going to be, we need everybody send Adam Healy. He's a school teacher. He helps the youth. You Venmo him $20 minimum to get him to Frisco.
There you go.
Minimum.
What grade?
Second grade.
Nice.
If your state won't support you to go, your goddamn fans should.
And if your fans don't, then they suck and need to get off the FCS Fans Nation's page.
Here's the more important question to a school teacher, because I'm married to one. Can you get the time off?
Yes, I can.
This should be winter break for y'all.
Send the money.
There you go.
Adam, set up a Venmo. You have to do that.
There we go.
Our podcast will do 5,000 views guaranteed in a week, and we'll get 1,000 of them to send $20.
Yeah. There's 99 people still watching this thing, which God bless you for doing it. If each of you send $10, that's
send Adam.
Adam can get to Frisco. He can get the flight. Just send Adam to Frisco. The man deserves it. Okay, over some of you other schmucks, the man deserves to be there. So get him some money. But yeah, we're at an hour 17. It is, as someone
friendly
says,
amendment. Would we put all proceeds beyond what's required towards a charity?
Yeah, let's do that.
Whatever money's left, we'll go to Alex's lemonade stand. I think that's fair.
Thank you.
Adam to Frisco, and then everything beyond that to charity.
How about this? Whatever's extra. Well,
goes to Quentin Hicks and Mark
goes to a player of the winning team.
There you go.
But wait, doesn't it stop though before the Natty, or is it
does?
Yeah. All right, fine. But does Montana has a player in there, don't they? Does Montana? Yeah, Clifton McDowell.
Say McDowell's in there, isn't he?
McDowell's put it towards
McDowell. So look, here's look. I mean, the thing that we need to get him at is flight and hotel for sure, right? Those are the big things, right? So flight, hotel, find him a ticket, and then I think we could easily say, hey, what's left? We could put to Clifton McDowell, because I'm sure no one's gonna make Adam buy himself a drink. I mean, he runs the Fight on Montana thing. I'm sure the Montana fans are like, oh my God, you're Fight on Montana. Let's get you a drink, right? I'm sure, I'm pretty sure that's covered, right? So just work it out, but donate for him. But also too, like we said, we're at it now, hour 20. It is the week before Christmas. I know there's some people who might be taking off this week, some people working. We don't keep you too long, but this is a fun tradition we have every year. I know there's a podcast break for the holidays. I know that the Sunday show will be recording after around New Year's or around then. I don't know what Jack Rattler Illustrated's doing, although except planning a monster ass tailgate. So if you need a FCS fix, Zach McKinnell has you covered. Right, writing about weaves on Sports Illustrated. That'll be the great article that comes out this week.
You mean the article about Ben?
He'll interview Ben about being a weeb.
See, if Ben would have jumped on here because he had the link, he could have defended himself. But unfortunately, he decided to be a pud and sit there and not join. So I don't feel bad.
Bump his.
Yeah, but again, thanks to you guys for taking time on Sunday to come on and join me on this mega live tradition. Thanks to all y'all who enjoyed this hour and a half of shenanigans and some good conversation. We hope to see you in Frisco. You see us around, come say hi. Some of these people are very, very popular. Zach, for example, popular guy. You got to meet him. Brendan, you can't miss him.
Unbiased Bison admin.
The unbiased bias. I mean, we got 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, which means you really like them and not so much me. But still, thanks for being here and subscribing. But yeah, have a great holiday. Have a great New Year. Be safe. We'll see you in Frisco. And to quote Mr. Matthew Frazee, boom.